Hey everyone, Austin here. Just wanted to put out another quick video. I wanted to talk about my new AR-15. So the rifle itself is a Blackout Defense dual taper lock in 6mm arc. This was my first entrance into 6 arc. I've heard good things about it, and I was open to an 18-inch barrel, so I wanted to give it a go. In this one specifically, we have the Proof 18-inch barrel that you can get on their website. And then I got the adjustable gas block just in case, because I knew I'd be running it suppressed, but I didn't know how well tuned it would be. So I got that as an option. They do have a new gas block now, which I'm not sure if they fit on the Proof barrels. I'm sure that they do. But it's a really cool new gas block. If you guys haven't heard of Blackout Defense and what they're working on, it's a very high-end AR for not necessarily high-end AR prices. I mean, this alone is about $4,000 for the way I have it spec'd out here, not including any of the attachments I put on it. So it is expensive. You're looking at, Knights SR prices for that. But the machining, it's so close tolerances. You have really nice ambi controls. You have an amazing trigger, one of the best triggers I've felt. And they really put attention to detail in every part of the process. Now, if you just got like a base model AR-15 from them, you can get in it for around $2,000. I know they have Black Friday sale that's like $500 off the rifles. So pretty much $2,000 you can get in a gun like this, and you don't need the fancy barrel. Their barrels are good enough. You don't need the Cerakote job that I got. You can just get it cheaper in black. But for the base rifle itself, and maybe in other calibers too, I think it's the best money that you can spend on an AR currently. It does take a while to get allocation for, so it took about 8 months for them to build this rifle from the point I placed the order, paid in full, and then waited 8 months, and then it arrived. But, that's the cost of doing business. So the way I have it set up, as you see here, we're going to go tip to butt. We have a Dead Air Sandman X in the tan FDE color. We have a Atlas bipod, just some junky Arca rail that I had laying around just so I could put this on here. And then we have the scope here is the Vortex Razor Gen 2. With mounted on it is a Fire 4000 from Tango Enos. And then that's in a Badger Ordnance Condition 1 mount. We have an SG Pulse here in the back, which is a little bit out of view. But that's just a bubble level. It's really easy indicators, seeing if my cant is on or off. And then just running a rear bag, Schmedium from Armageddon Gear. This is a pretty good rifle setup. So I took it out to 100 yards, just got it sighted in at 100, didn't check groups or anything like that, and immediately went out to steel at 300 and just spent the rest of my day plinking at 300. I have about 100 rounds through it, about 100 rounds exactly, so I'm not going to give a full review of this gun, but I can give my initial thoughts, and it's amazing. I love it. My only complaint that I would have so far is that it didn't come native with the Arca rail on the barrel here, and you just kind of have to attach your own. It's not a big deal, and I understand that it opens up options to kind of have whatever on the bottom, but I do feel like if you're speccing on an 18-inch 6-arc build, you're going to want the Arca rail already part of the handguard here. But, I did inquire about them doing that custom, but I didn't hear back. So I'm assuming it's currently not an option, and it probably won't be an option, but it's not at all the end of the world just to have an M-lock attachment that goes in here. I'm sure this one specifically will fail at some point. This is a very cheap one, but I'm not worried about it until it does fail. I know Area 419 makes a really good one, and other companies make really good ones. I just find it extremely convenient and nice when it's already part of the setup, especially when you're doing a longer range setup like this. I'm sure they just have this standard because, on a 16-inch barrel, you probably don't want this. On a 12-inch barrel, if they got shorter versions of that, you definitely don't want it. So that would be my only gripe. Besides that, when I picked it up from the gun store, it came disassembled, the upper and lower, and I had to put them together just to function check it before I left the store, and I was just honestly really excited. So I did it anyways. Getting it apart was a pain. Getting it together was also a pain, in the sense that the tolerances are so well machined together and tight that it's just designed to be super tight. There's absolutely no chance there's going to be any play here. There's going to be no visible light between the upper and lower. It is dead on. And now that I've taken it apart a few times, I cleaned it once, it is a bit easier to disassemble now. But I'll still probably have to hit the pins out with something because it's so tight machined together. After 100 rounds, she was very dirty. I think this is just the way 6-arc is, that and running with the suppressor on it, and I still have to adjust the gas block so that it's gassed properly. But it was very, very dirty. So I am interested in see how it goes if I don't clean it for 300 rounds, or if I don't clean it for 500 rounds, to see if it'll actually, because like it's seems dirtier than even 300 blackout. Some rounds at 300 blackout. So we'll see how it goes.